What's up, people? Happy Christmas Eve. Happy Wednesday. It's good to be back. Work has been busy lately, so that's why there hasn't been a video. Um, but it is so good to be back. For the next, however. So I have been watching the show. It's been a mess. You know, Rick. He was kidnapped by Johnny Zakara and Carlos, and Johnny's trying to take over Sonny's territory, and Julian. It's a big mess. Pettonville is basically where the party is. Let's just say that. You got Franco, you got Sonny, you got Johnny, all in Pettonville, and it's a big mess. Sonny is the father of Ava's baby. It's one big mess after another. But let's get down to the episode today, to the Christmas Eve episode. Okay, what the fuck is wrong with Dr. Obrecht? I can't with Obrecht. Like, Obrecht is deranged for that Krampus story, that Krampus story. She is nuts. Like, that woman needs psychiatric evaluation. Like, this woman is... This is not Halloween. This is Christmas. Why the hell would you tell kids that story? And what was so funny to me was Jocelyn Jax, Carly's daughter, actually liked the story. She's crazy. She's definitely Carly's kid. What kid would like that story? Like, what 9-year-old child would like a story about? Seriously? And I found it so strange that not one parent grabbed their kid and took their kid out of there. I would have immediately grabbed the kid and took them the hell out of there. Why would you want them listening to that story? Nicholas, I mean, come on. You're a board member. Stop the story, you idiot. It was funny, but it was crazy at the same time. Like, I just bust out laughing when I seen it. I was like, yo, Obrecht is retarded. Like, the woman is nuts. So anyway, Sam showed up to the hospital with Danny. Jake, or Jakeson, went up to Sam or whatever to call a truce because it's Christmas, and Elizabeth immediately jumps on the defensive, which pissed me off. I want, like, seriously, Elizabeth needs to shut the fuck up as usual. I am so sick of Elizabeth. Like, Elizabeth, I've been sick of her for years. Like, she's annoying. The best scene, the scene that I liked, was one of the scenes in this episode that I liked was the Molly and Rick scene. Them catching up, and it was a beautiful scene. And what was so funny was, see, Elizabeth basically told Jake that she cares about Jake, but as soon as Rick jumped up, it was like, Jake who? Elizabeth forgot all about Jake. Of course she would. That's how Elizabeth is. She's a whore. I mean, come on here. The bitch is crazy. Like, she gets on my nerves. Like, she forgot all about Jake. So Rick basically told Elizabeth he wants to pick up where they left off, and he wants to resume their relationship. From what I saw in the New Year's Eve promo, Rick and Elizabeth are going to end up in bed. Olivia and Julian are going to end up in bed. Because basically from what I saw today, Julian is basically done with Alexis. I don't kind of blame Julian in a way, because Alexis is wishy-washy. And I happen to agree with Julian. Like, if Alexis can't accept him for who he is, she can't be with him then. It's never going to work, because Julian obviously is in the mob. He's not giving up the mob. He's not going to stop lying. He's not going to stop doing dumb shit. So if she can't get with it, then you have to get lost. That's just the way it is. If she can't accept him for who he is, it is what it is. You just have to call it quits. What other choice do you have? And of course, Alexis is going to play the whole song and dance. She's never going to be over Julian. She's not. She's never going to be over him. Like, she can try, but it's not going to happen. Alexis, I just never really liked the Alexis character, because I feel like she never admits her you know, like, she never really admits to own up to the fact that she likes bad guys. Like, she never owns up to it. You know what I mean? Like, she just always tries to spin it off and not pay it too much mind. But she obviously likes dangerous men like Julian, Jerry Jacks, the list, you know, Sonny Corinthos. Like, you like bad guys. Like, you know, she just won't admit it. So meanwhile, Maxie shows up in Portland. She hits Nathan up, I guess, on FaceTime or whatever, iChat, whatever you want to call it. You know, to let him know that she's in Portland. She was kind of nervous, you know, of course, because she hasn't seen her daughter in a very long time. So of course she's nervous. This is her first encounter with her daughter in a very, very, very long time. You know, this is her daughter's second Christmas. You know what I mean? So she knocks on the door. It was good to see Spinelli. Her daughter has gotten big. And it was a good scene. You know, Maxie bought her daughter all type of presents, and Spinelli told Maxie how Georgie is basically a little mini fashionista. You know, like, she has a great sense of fashion, you know, for a girl her age. And I thought it was a good Christmas scene. You know, that was a very good scene to kick off Christmas. You know what I mean? For a Christmas episode, it was a very good scene. I loved every minute of it. And then she FaceTimed Nathan to introduce him to Georgie. I think that was a really, you know, tastefully done scene. I think it really was. I think the writers nailed that scene pretty much perfectly. I would have loved to see Ellie, but, you know, you get what you got to take what you can get. You know what I mean? It would have been great to see Ellie, but, you know, this was really all about Maxie being with her daughter, so, you know. But I think it was well written. I think the scene was well written. And I'm glad the judge did change his mind. Speaking of the judge. So I watched the episode, and Monica was having flashbacks of how the judge, she got the judge to change his mind about letting Maxie see her daughter. Because Obrecht pretty much put pressure on Monica. Either you get the judge to change his mind or you're fired. So Monica had to do what she had to do. And I'm glad the judge did change his mind. But I kind of understand where the judge is coming from now, because the judge told Monica about his daughter Kayla, about how his daughter, you know, Maxie reminded him a lot of his daughter. She was stubborn, irresponsible, did a lot of stupid shit. She felt like there was no consequences for her actions, and she ended up, you know, being intoxicated, getting in a car and crashing, and she died. So he felt like he needed to be tough on Maxie because he wasn't tough on his daughter. I understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, I think that as soon as he got Maxie's case, I think he should have recused himself from Maxie's case. That's what I think he should have did, because obviously that case was too personal. It was basically a conflict of interest. It was too personal for him. He should have recused himself from the case. But I do understand his reasonings, but I just feel like it wasn't right because it was too personal, and you cannot mix business with pleasure. You can't mix it. You know what I mean? So, but I kind of understand where he's coming from, and now I'm starting to see the judge in a different light. You know what I mean? I don't know about you guys, but after his story, I'm starting to see him in a different light, even though, like I said, I don't agree with what he did to Maxie, because I felt like it was he put his personal feelings into a case. So I don't agree with that, but I understand it. You know what I mean? So I'm willing to give him another chance. Even though I think Monica can still do better, but I'm willing to give him another chance. I know a lot of people don't want Monica with anybody because they're so used to her being with Alan, but Alan's dead. He's not coming back. So it's, you know, I mean, how long is Monica supposed to stay single? Monica, I think, deserves some happiness in her life. She lost her husband. She lost her daughter. Well, actually, she lost her oldest daughter. She lost her years ago, you know, Dawn Winthrop. Then she lost Alan. Then she lost Emily. She actually lost Emily and Alan in the same year, months apart. You know, that's hard. She lost her husband. You know, she lost her firstborn child. She lost her husband. She went through cancer. You know, back in the day, she went through cancer. She lost her other daughter. She lost her husband. Before that, she thought she lost AJ, but she faked his death. Then she lost her father-in-law. She lost Edward. Then she lost AJ all over again. You know what I mean? So it's a lot, you know, to go through. Then she found, you know, then she lost, you know, she also lost Jake, a grandson that she never knew she had. You know what I mean? So she's been through a lot in her life, and she deserves some happiness. And if Judge Walters make her happy, I'm all for it, because I'm sure that's what Alan would have wanted. You know, he didn't want her to be single forever, and I think she's waited long enough. You know, Alan died in 2007. You know, so she's been single long enough. So Sam, well, TJ, he goes over to the penthouse to give Molly a gift. She tells him about Rick, and I like the gift that he gave her. He gave her a picture of her and Rick. I think that was a nice gift. So Sam, while the judge and Monica are playing with Danny under the, you know, they're playing with Danny underneath the mistletoe, Sam and Patrick finally shared their long-awaited kiss. I just want to know how this is all going to play out when Jason is revealed to be Jason. Like, I want to know how this is all going to play. Like, is the writers going to put Sam back with Jason, or is she, you know, going to go stay with Patrick? We don't know. I do know Robin is coming back, but I think it's for another brief period, because I think the divorce between him and Robin is about to be finalized. How many of you are ready for 2014? I mean, 2015. I mean, what storylines would you like to see happen in 2015? What storylines still need to be closed by the end of 2014? This Fluke storyline should be done this week, next week, you know, before, you know, because we only got a few more days of 2014. This storyline needs to be shut down ASAP. Am I forgetting to talk about something? Well, oh, I love the scene between Nathan and Obrecht when she was in his hospital room and she sung him that song. Their relationship actually, you know, it matured very nicely. You know what I mean? Like, before he couldn't stand her, now he's calling her mom and she's calling him son. So I think, you know, it's perfect. I just wish Britt was here to see it, but you know, it was a good episode though. All in all, it was decent. You know what I mean? It was a lot of good scenes. So I can't wait, you know, for everything else to fall into place. I'm ready for these other storylines to be over quickly. Because, you know, we got the new year approaching. We don't want the same storylines in the new year. But anyway, I hope all you have a great day, a great holiday. I don't know if there's a new episode Christmas Day, but if there is, I'll review it. If not, I think there is going to be a new episode Friday. I'll review it. I hope all you have a great day. See you all later.